What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You are locked into another episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you right here by the folks at Hurrdat Sports Network. And, of course, everybody over at the Husker Army Facebook fan page, make sure to go check them out, become a member. Roughly like 39,500 members, so let's get to that 40 mark, maybe by the start of the season or even by the end of the season. I don't care. Like I said, Husker Army Facebook fan page, check them out, become a member. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps us a lot in the algorithm. Really helps us keep the channel going. Leave a comment if you will. We'll get right back to you on it. And then, of course, let you know about the merch. You get a chance, hop over to shop.hurrdatsports.com. Get yourself some Husker Army Podcast merch. Become enlisted. Get yourself a shirt, a dad or a trucker hat, maybe a beanie, stainless steel tumbler, or a coffee mug. Two different sizes in the coffee mugs, and, of course, not the only colors and designs that the shirts and hats come in. So get a chance. Shop.hurrdatsports.com. Become enlisted into the Husker Army. So I believe that is it right there. Let's get right into this. I am your host, Brian Knutzen. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver and multi-time national champion Kenny Cheatham, a.k.a. KC. Of course, our recruiting guru, and I love the fact that I'm saying that for this episode. It's hilarious.
It's extremely hilarious.
Our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, a.k.a. Herbie_Husker over on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. And everybody, our guest for today, none other than recruiting writer for Nebraska Rivals himself, Mr. Tim Verghese. Tim, how you doing, man?
Hey, again, appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate just the opportunity to be here. We're ready to get started.
Oh, yeah. Before we get into the first game, man, I got to show the enlisted graphic as all. I'll tell you, I was saying it right before recording. That's I couldn't have found a better picture, Tim. I really couldn't have. That's, like I said, you got to keep a lot of recruiting things on the hush-hush. I was like, that picture just fits, man. Man, that fits.
It's perfect.
All right, so, but before we get into previewing our season, I mean, guys, college football's back, all right? We got our first full day of games. We had a couple good games. I mean, obviously, the Aer Lingus Classic, that was a great one. I mean,
it was sloppy.
It was sloppy. I understand. First game, it kind of looked like us in Northwestern, that one year. It really did.
Yep.
But, I mean, Iowa State coming out on top. And, look, were we the first year that started, us in Northwestern, that Aer Lingus thing?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think it was.
Okay, so then we would have been first year. Georgia Tech, Florida State were the second year. Now you got Iowa State, Kansas State. Each year, the underdog has prevailed. I'm starting to wonder, certain teams are just going to swear off going to this thing moving forward if they're highly up there or supposed to be highly up there. Because honestly, Kansas State should have beat Iowa State. They really should have.
I mean, I did think this Iowa State team, specifically Rocco, going into the year, I think there was a lot of like, hey, I think Avery has a chance to take the jump. And I think there was a lot of people just kind of discounted Rocco as like a guy that they knew what he was. And going into that, I think it's just, a lot of people kind of banked on the potential of Avery versus the known quantity of Rocco. That paired with, I do think this Iowa State team has some depth and has some talent that kind of allowed them to get through. I don't think that game went on or off the field the way the way Kansas State wanted it to, especially with some of the hijinks after the game with the Johnson family.
Took it right out of my mouth, Tim. Took it right out of my mouth, man. I saw the Twitter post. I was like, what is going on? Look, I understand it's Ireland. You get your drink on, but y'all are family for one. What are y'all doing, man?
Yeah, it was crazy. I thought, yeah. And for that family, I feel for them just because, and the program in general. I feel for Avery. Kind of covered him a little bit in high school. And he's a good kid. I do think he means well, and the family means well in general. But yeah, never want that to be the story coming out of the game, especially when the focus before the game was how much both teams had prepped for this, like, globe-trotting excursion, and like all this prep, and that's how it ends.
Yeah, I got to admit too, seeing that video, man, I'm surprised the dad got the better of the other son. The son's a big boy, dude. I was impressed. I was like, "Go, old timer, you get you some." All right.
You know what I will say after watching that game is Nebraska native Ben Balmer, the tight end for Iowa State. Man, he is good.
Mm-hmm.
He is really good. I really wish he would have stayed home and went to Nebraska. I get why he didn't, but man, he's a stud, and he's a big boy.
Now, there were points in that game that I missed. Isn't K-State where Gabe Ervin Jr. transferred?
Yeah, but he had a season or not season ending, but he had like a career ending injury, I believe. That's what I read yesterday. Is he had an injury that he just hung it up and just basically walked away from football.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but that's what I read yesterday. Tim might know more, but
I was wondering why he wasn't in.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he wasn't in. I was really surprised throughout that game when they were especially struggling in the running game. I was like, I have not seen him at all. And I was
they struggled in the run game also because Dylan Edwards got hurt. Anyone that remembers Dylan Edwards, he was very high on Nebraska, but still chose K-State.
Yeah.
And he's an explosive back. He's a good running back.
But that's why sometimes you have to holler at players' relatives.
Yep.
AKA me. That's my cousin.
Okay. I did not realize that. I apologize. So taking nothing away from him, but yeah, I'm sure.
No, I'm just saying they don't reach out to us like they need to put them in touch with people that we can put them in touch with. You get what I'm saying? Say, hey man, hey, you're looking
it's
at
a phone call away, folks.
Let me get in his ear. That's all it is. But they never.
And see, I
who was in charge of that game? Just real quick, sorry. I just had to ask. Who was the head coach in Nebraska during that time frame?
Sipping on some scissors. Sipping on some scissors.
No way. Right. You just bust out some 3-6 Mafia. Oh, my God. Oh, that's great. High school all over again. Oh.
I love it.
Okay, and I got to admit, Kansas looked impressive against Fresno State. The new stadium looked really good. I mean, I hate the color blue. I absolutely do. So, I'll vomit. I'll vomit all over that stadium. That's fine. But as an outsider looking in, great upgrades to that stadium. It looks so much better now. There was a hell of an atmosphere. The fans were rocking. I mean, it was definitely Rock Chalk Jayhawk. And looked like they got somebody at quarterback. I honestly can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Jalen Daniels.
Impressive.
He's a stud.
Could tell.
Knows
how to move.
What I'm really impressed by is their end zones. The way they painted their end zones, it was really
with the wheatgrass,
the hay, the wheat or whatever you want to say. So that was. I even had to stop my wife and be like, "Hey, look at this," and she even said, "Wow, that's really cool." So
what do you think? What do you think, Tim? Missed opportunity there for Nebraska with the new red end zones to have silhouettes of corn stalks under it.
Could be cool. I mean, it's definitely an idea. I mean, I know there's obviously stuff this program does that other programs take, but yeah, I kind of wonder if I saw Kansas State or Kansas do that. I kind of wonder if some teams start to not necessarily copy, but start to kind of implement, something identifying for their program into those end zones.
Yeah, just imagine us putting like the shirt logo randomly in behind.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much stuff you could do for Nebraska. It'd be really cool.
For the blackout, how about putting a black shirt logo instead of the N at the
that'd be sick.
Field?
Yeah. There's so many things you can do.
I hope they consider a field redesign for that game. I think the program deserves it. I feel like that moment deserves it.
Yeah, we have a really good friend of ours. She's flying in from West Virginia to go to that game. And she's spending a fortune to take her family to that game.
Yeah.
So it better be a night game.
Hey, as long as we do our job, USC does their job and just wins games leading up to that, it'll be a night game. It'll be prime time.
Well, probably, but big noon. But big noon.
Yeah,
big noon could take your eye out. But
yep.
I think if it's a game that's played during the day, just because of USC's defensive line, they might have a shot at taking us down. But a night game, blackout, in that environment, they stand no chance, in my opinion.
Oh, man. Okay. Enough banter. College football's back. Hallelujah. This will be dropping tomorrow on Monday, so it will be game week. So let's go ahead and talk about it right now. First game of the season, we're going to talk about our predictions and previews. We got Cincinnati Bearcats, neutral site game, Arrowhead Stadium, prime time this Thursday coming up on August 28th. Okay, so Cincinnati's record last year, 5-7, finished 11th in the Big 12. Nothing to write home about, obviously. Let's see what they have. They've got 10 returning starters, or possibly 7, according to whatever source you might go through. 5 offense, 6 on defense, or possibly 4 on offense. And then their transfer portal added 9 players. So, I mean, look, we're kind of beginning going against a whole new Bearcats team here. We can't really go by what we saw last season. Now, if you want to go by what we saw last season, I believe it was their first game of the season. They're in a good lead, and then blew it. Matt, you watching something?
No, it's my son's tablet. Turn it down.
Okay. It's like, wait,
my son's right next to me.
But yeah, I mean, Tim, is this? Look, I'm trying not to worry about this game. I'm really not. We're gonna have the advantage as far as fans go. Obviously, the Cincinnati fans are talking a ton of crap on Twitter already, and
let them talk.
Some of the things they've said, I swear, it's like they've just learned the game of football or just found out about it this year. But neutral site game, it is. What are we looking for in this game, Tim?
Yeah, it's an opportunity, I think, for Nebraska, because I think there's things in this game that I think will be indicative of what this program is capable of throughout the season. I think a big question with Cincinnati coming into the year is going to be their offensive line. They've retooled, made a splash addition in the portal, but besides that, they have some losses along the line, and so they are confident in that line. But it's their first game, kind of playing together as a unit. So I really want to see how Nebraska's front holds up. I want to see if they're able to penetrate. I think regardless of the play of the offensive line, what I'm really going to be looking for from Nebraska's defense is how they tackle Evan Pryor and how they tackle Tawee Walker. I think both of those guys are those guys are former Big Ten transfers. Tawee played at Wisconsin and Evan played at Ohio State. Both of those guys have what it takes to kind of run the ball at a power forward level, have done it successfully, and are doing it successfully at Cincinnati. I think if Nebraska, regardless of what happens up front, if Nebraska shows they can wrap up, tackle, prevent leaky yardage, I feel better about their ability to just defend the run down the line against the Michigans and the USCs and the Penn States and the Iowas they'll face this season. But I'm really looking at that defensively. I think they made some splashy additions at receiver in the portal, but those guys are inexperienced, just like kind of guys that have either transferred up from the FCS level or guys that have been reserves elsewhere. So they are, again, there's some confidence in that room. I do trust Nebraska's secondary more than I did going into last season to be able to kind of hold up against these type of receivers. And then Sorsby's going to challenge this offense as a thrower, as a runner. And I think it depends on which Brendan Sorsby shows up. The guy that played the first half of last year for Cincinnati is not the guy that finished out the year for the Bearcats. If he can bounce back, if he's back to kind of that first half of the season version of himself with those better weapons around him, with the new offensive line, he's going to challenge this Nebraska defense. But ultimately, I say all that to say good opportunity and good challenges for Nebraska, but I do think Nebraska's offense in this game is able to score enough points and get over the top. I personally have them kind of winning this, similar to how the Wisconsin game went last year, kind of like a 41-24, 41-28 type result. I just think Nebraska pulls away. I think they're deeper. I think they're going to be more physical. And I think if I trust the interior of the line to kind of keep Dante Corleone in check. That's not to say he's not going to have different disruptive plays. I think he's one of the best defensive tackles in the country. He's going to find a way to make his impact felt in this game, and Nebraska's going to have to kind of cater 2 to 3 guys on him. But I think they'll be able to. I think the interior of Nebraska's offensive line is the strength of the offense. Maybe is a strength of the offense, and I think they're going to be able to kind of enforce a ground game and keep things moving through the air.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kenny, going back to what Tim was saying there as far as the tackling goes, I mean, that was something you guys went through day in, day out in practice, and not just on defense. Offense had to practice tackling as well, and it was live. Now, it wasn't always the case here in recent past, but since Rule's been here, that is the case. You know, we're going live. We're going to hit. We're going to tackle. We're going to do the fundamentals. Now, Kenny, last year, you've got to admit, man, we saw a huge jump in tackling, especially one-on-one open field tackling. Not a whole lot missed last year. Granted, there were some, Iowa game being one of them, but so much better last year. And I've seen improvement each year with this tackling since the staff's been here. What do you think, Kenny?
I just think it's based on how far you've advanced or how far ahead you are in camp coming into the season. You know what I mean? With the way that practices are set up now, I don't think they do two-a-days like we used to. They're not tackling as much. So a lot of times these first games are where you're working out all of the bugs. You hope you can work those out within the first quarter to get yourself going, to eliminate it from being a season-long problem. But if the tackling's bad and they're not getting the proper angles, making the hit, or being physical, it can set the tone for the game and yet the season, because that will dictate, because there's film out there and there's film 50 million ways these days for people to see how they can attack you and see where those weaknesses are at, or where they presume those weaknesses are at based on what they're seeing on the film. So hopefully, you know, they lace them up and put it down and continue on what they were doing last year. So that's what we're hoping for. And that's what I want to see starting in the first game. I mean, because we can't think Cincinnati's a cakewalk, regardless of their record, because they might be looking at us like we're a cakewalk.
Yep.
So, like as always, you guys we always say, and Tim, this will be your first time hearing it. Those days are over, where they're looking at us like, we're gonna go in there and get blasted. It's like,
damn.
Yeah, we have just as much of a chance to beat them as they do us. So let's just see.
Yeah, all you got to say about that anymore, Kenny, is just Georgia Southern. I mean, that was the game that broke the camel's back right there. So yeah,
let's just hope they go into it and handle business.
All right, so Matt, welcome back.
For some reason.
It's all right. You're back. That's all that matters, and you're back just in time. So I mean, your thoughts on this first game coming up with Cincinnati, man?
They're a run first team. That's what their head coach wants to do, and just we got to stop the run. Especially from the quarterback. I mean, he's still threat quarterback. He's going to try to run the ball on us. Just we have to stop the run. I think we have way more depth than them, especially at Arrowhead. I mean, at their stadium, I think they'd stand more of a chance, even though I still think we'd win. But at Arrowhead, neutral stadium, I mean, this is a home game for us. Let's just be real.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I may be wearing the away jerseys, but it's a home game.
Yeah, I think the last time that it was announced was only like 6,000 tickets were bought.
Yeah,
on that side of the country.
Oh my God!
There's like 60,000 seats that have been sold just in the state of Nebraska alone.
Yeah, the 402 area code.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel sorry for them because they were supposed to host this game, but college football is all about money. Well, college football is all about money nowadays. Let's just be realistic.
It is.
I honestly predict us to win by 14 plus.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of piggyback off what Tim said there. I won't take long here. But, defense, the black shirts, of course, they've got to be stout this year. It's going to be so hard to match the production they had last year. I understand, especially with what we lost up front, but I think we have ultimately reloaded that defensive line already. And I just think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I really do. And especially where I'm looking for a big jump and where my kind of question mark is, but want to see the jump, and that's at linebacker. That's second level. Because if those guys in the defense they run, if that linebacker play isn't up to snuff, can't fill holes, can't get tackles right away one-on-one, you're in trouble. Because your 3 defensive down linemen aren't going to be always getting pressure. They're not always going to be getting into that backfield. So I'm right there with you, Tim. I think our defense are going to be the ones to really set the tone of this game. I agree. Our offense, they're stout as hell. They should be able to put up points. They've got playmakers in all the right places. Our defense, if I can see lockdown in the secondary, especially having all upperclassmen back there starting, that's experience. They need to be locked down. It's the linebacker play that I want to see to make sure that they're up to snuff as they were last year. So, long as our linebacker play is good, I'm not worried about our defensive line.
I think you'll be pleased.
I think I will too, but I still have to see it so far.
Watson Trent is a stud.
That's everything I've been hearing about. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy the amount of stuff I'm hearing about that young man. So I'm excited. So, all right. Tim, you got us with a W. Matt, you got us with a W. Kenny, what do you think? You don't got to give a score, but what do you think? Opener, win, or loss? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
Heart says I don't know, but because I hate to say it and sound like it is Nebraska.
Yep.
Oh God, I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm going to say W.
All right.
I'm going to say W.
Okay.
So,
and of course,
I think our defense is going to be fine. That's not the problem. It's based on what our offense does and the how can I say how well Raiola's playing. That's going to open up everything else as far as letting little Emmett get loose, how he's running, because they're all predicated on one another. So, and if we're physical up front, so if our offense is being productive, we know our defense is going to come to play, especially if they're building off last year. Those boys go be having pinned back and ready. So I say a win, maybe by 14.
Okay. And of course,
what I think is really cool about this game is like it's at Arrowhead. Like we all know Raiola, he's got a history with Patrick Mahomes. So you almost guarantee he's going to be at the game. The Kelsey brothers, they went to Cincinnati.
One of them did.
Going to be at the game. The Bussin' with the Boys is going to be there.
Yeah, it's huge.
So there's another layer to this game that is added like fuel to the fire and just gonna, in my opinion, just going to be really cool and fun to watch. Especially Raiola and Patrick Mahomes, because they work with the same quarterback coach and they're really good friends. And I just think it's really cool, especially hopefully Mahomes during the game, he puts that like he is not a clone of me, just everyone shut your mouth type thing. I think that would be really cool. Mahomes like defended Raiola, but he has in the past. So,
well, what was the rule said in House of Rules that first episode? When you're a little kid, you go up and play Little League Baseball. You're mimicking how you're holding the bat because of certain major league players.
Of course, everyone wanted to swing their bat like Griffey.
Exactly,
smoothest swing in the world.
What is wrong with being like the guy you idol? So, okay. Anyway, all right. You guys know me.
All you got to do when people say that is say, "We see what it made Kobe Bryant."
Yeah. I mean, Kenny, you playing wide receiver. Who'd you mimic? I mean, who did you
look up to, Kenny?
I mean, You're
Jerry
right
Rice,
in the era
Michael
of Jerry
Irvin.
Rice. Thank you.
There you go.
Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin.
There you go.
Me and my friends, we argue about sports all the time. And I always tell everyone, the one argument you can ever have is, who is the greatest wide receiver of all time? The answer is Jerry Rice. Thank you.
Yeah.
There is no argument.
It's not even close.
It's not even close.
Too good. He was too good.
But one of his records might get broke this year.
Ooh.
By who?
By Mike Evans.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, 1,000-yard
years
seasons
with
in a row.
1,000 yards. Yep, they're tied right now. That's really cool. Good for Mike Evans.
Okay, well, you guys know me. I'm going W. I've got to go. Man, why not? Let's say 38-17. I like 38-17. I think Cincinnati might even get that 17 in the first half, or maybe the last 3 points in the second half. But I think that defense after that first half, I think it's going to be lights out. I really do. I got a feeling Butler's going to have it figured out. I think the defense is going to be out there knowing exactly what their schemes are, what their assignments are, and it's going to be lights out in the second half. So good luck, Cincinnati. I mean, bravo. You guys took this game on, so hopefully it works out in our favor. All right, so game number 2. We got Akron coming to Lincoln on September 6th. Now,
payback game.
It is. They're the one.
You guys talked a lot of smack.
They're the ones that kind of ended up cursing the whole 2018 season.
Yeah, Frost's first game.
Yeah,
the rain delay.
That was a storm game. Okay.
Yeah, that's the storm
and I was there.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah. Oh, so bad. So bad. All right, so as far as record goes and everything, Akron, they finished 4-8 last year. So, I mean, that was finishing 8th in the MAC. They've got, from what I saw, Tim, they had 5 returning starters coming, 3 on offense, 2 on defense. And their transfer portal, all I found was they added one guy, and that was Tim Verghese Jr. from Fresno State, wide receiver. So,
yeah.
Tim, I'm going to lead off with you each time on each game. So we're just going to lock in on that one.
Perfect.
I should have mentioned that from the get-go.
Yeah, with Akron and Houston Christian, like it just feels like those two games. I mean, you know, there's been these games in the past, obviously, but it very much feels like, yeah, starters probably rested by halftime, if not sooner, for Nebraska. Kind of
like a UTEP deal.
Yeah, you're looking for, like, I'm already looking ahead to Akron and Houston Christian. I'm like, okay, I want to see quarter and a half of TJ Lateef. I want to see, I want to see kind of the depth at running back. I want to see a good bit of Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith and Cortez Mills at receiver. I want to see the depth at O-line, and I want to see some young guys in the secondary.
Yes.
Rex Guthrie.
Yeah, I want to see some Rex. I want to see a good bit of Rex.
When the depth chart came out the other day and he was number 2, I went, whoa! Because I don't know if you guys ever have seen his injury, but there's videos out there, and it's brutal. He had his entire leg pretty much snapped in half.
Oh.
So, I mean, horribly bad. Like, disgustingly gross. But for them to rank or put him number 2, it was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And Rules never talked about him, really.
Yeah, he's had a good fall camp. I think it's really started to come on for him. He's a tackler, man. You go back and watch the junior film, and before he got hurt, like, tackler, athletic, did everything for that team. A heritage team that, of course, Nebraska's plenty familiar with. They've recruited from that program plenty, but did it all for them. Defensive weapon. Yeah, he's a guy I'm really excited to see in the secondary this year. I think he's going to be a weapon for Nebraska on special teams as well. He's a future starter. Like, he's a guy that I think is going to step into that rover spot, maybe probably as soon as next year for Deshaun Singleton. I think he's going to be kind of like I think he's going to become a fan favorite, I think, as he starts to play, because he hits, man. Like, and this program, they like DBs that hit.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me, like, just watching his high school film, a little bit of JoJo Doman.
I was going to say, there's some Doman there.
Like, he comes right into the box. I think his last full year of starting football, he had 115 tackles and 3 interceptions. So he has no problem coming down and laying the wood. He was the number 1 ranked player in the state of Colorado. His recruit the year he was a senior, and Colorado didn't even recruit him, which kind of baffled me. And we just walked right in there and said, "Hey, here, come to us." And he almost committed immediately. It was really weird that Dion really doesn't recruit the state. Like, you have good football in Colorado
somehow,
but okay.
Just saying, I hate Colorado, so I've never had anything good to say about them.
Never will.
So what do you think, Tim? I mean, obviously, I would predict you're going to take this one as a W, especially looking at what they've got returning, what the record was last year. We're going to kind of see the same Akron team that was there last year.
Yeah, like this one should be like somewhere between like 38-45 and like 7-10, something like that. Like I think that's probably where it's at. Yeah. Like I think a score happens when it's like, hey, the third string defense is in. They do it like the UTEP game last year. They put together a tempo drive. You know, kind of just move down the field quickly and get a score. But now I don't think Nebraska struggles too much with I think it would be an issue. I think for what this team needs to be and what this team wants to be in year 3, and what this team is capable of with the talent on the team, I think it'd be a really big issue if Nebraska struggles with this game or the following game.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, might as well ask you, man. I would assume W, right?
Yeah, like I will consider this game a failure if we don't put up like 600 yards of offense. I'm just being realistic. They are nowhere near the caliber of us. Just being realistic. I think we could start our entire third team and still win this game.
Yeah, I hope
offense and defense.
It should. Yeah. All right, Kenny. Always the realist.
Yeah, I mean they should.
Yeah, okay.
Thank God. Yeah. If they get their ass plastered by Akron, we burning Memorial Stadium down. We're burning it down.
Yeah, I mean, if Akron even wants to stand a chance, they'd have to almost play like Mini State the year where Amir Abdullah had to just save us at like right up.
But that should be you're right. But this should be a game.
McNeese State that year, they were a pretty decent team.
Yeah, they were good.
I will give them credit. But Akron, they're nowhere even close to that.
I mean, it should just be, as Tim said, Brian said, you kind of said it should be a game where we should have the other guys in the game getting repetitions, working on things for the next game. So everyone can get in there, get live game action, playing to see where they're at, but minimizing the mistakes that they're going to make because they're not getting the reps normally. So, I mean, the starter should be over there eating runzas and good pizza.
Fairberry hot dogs.
Yeah, don't grab a Bruto, even though they got them in there. Can't do that. But they should be over there just, doing their thing, man. So hopefully it's a game we get jump out on them, put the whammy down, break them early, and then, work on other things and get some young guys and guys that don't play as much in there to get some reps in.
Yeah.
That's a game that it'll be really fun to watch some of the freshmen and sophomores, especially somebody like Cade Petrizak.
There you go.
Who's a stud defensive lineman. And that'll be a fun game for him to get in there and just wreak havoc.
Well, and if Tyson Terry's knee's feeling pretty good by then, they could maybe even slot him in at the end of the game.
He's not. He won't be.
Are they going to rest him all year?
Yeah, he's done for the year, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that they sat him for the entire year, but I know he's got a long ways to go.
Well, he said he was prepared for that. He was. I remember talking to him back in, I think it was June. He was like, I'm probably going to end up redshirting my freshman year, let the knee fully heal, rehab it for a year. And, man, when that guy comes back, oh, God, look out.
He's a tank, but he's still undersized.
Yeah, but give him a whole nother year in that nutrition room, the weight room. Oh, my God.
Yeah, seeing him in person, it's a little overwhelming. And then you realize.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy and still tiny.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm 5'6". I'm looking up at him, dude. It doesn't matter. I'm looking up to everybody. I was going to say, Tim, you're probably at least 5'10", 5'11".
Right around 5'10". Yeah.
See, there you go. I'm looking up at
You're
Tim.
my height.
Yeah, I'm looking up at Matt at times. This is crazy. This is crazy. Thanks, Mom. Sweet Jesus. All right, so I'm obviously going W. I'm kind of with you, Tim. I'm looking at like maybe a 45-7, 45-10 outcome, maybe even 48. We could hang a 50 bill on them for all we know. I mean, that'd be great. It really would for a second game. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
Depends on how our second and third team play.
Very true. Very true. All right, so this one we'll kind of just brush over. Houston Christian coming to Lincoln on September 13th. FCS team. I mean, their record last year, oh boy, 5-7, finished 5th in the Southland Conference. That's in the FCS. They've got 5 returning starters, but the transfer portal, Tim, I don't know if I'm wrong on this. I don't know if my sources are wrong, but it said they added 47 players and 24 were from the FBS level.
Yeah.
Is that right? My God.
It's a lot of that happening at the FCS level right now, where it's just a lot of those guys just move on. They transfer up or transfer out, and they just influx with a whole bunch of guys. Essentially, it's not even last chance you. I don't think that's the best way to put it, but just guys that are bumping transferring down or on the way transferring up. They may transfer up from D3 or lower and try and move up to the FCS level with hopes of, potentially getting on some NFL radars.
Yeah, that number blew me away. I was like, what? You basically have an entire starting roster that you just got out of the transfer portal. And 9 of them, they were signed early in December, if I remember right. Yeah. 9 of them signed early in December. So they added.
Man, I don't envy those CS coaches at all, man. The roster, the amount of names they have to know, and the amount of just like people they have to be aware of to just build a roster year in and year out right now is absurd.
Their turnaround, I mean, you got to worry about players like you said that are going to leave to move up at the end of the season. You got to worry about trying to replace guys like that from, like you said, bringing them down from the FBS level, or I mean, what the hell? Good God, 47 in the transfer portal.
Well, this is what the NCAA thought was going to be a good idea. I'll just say that.
What I'll say here is, as far as score predictions go, I'm going to be gracious, kind of like the old NCAA football games on PlayStation.
They would put up 100.
Well, no, just where certain ones you don't even get like their score because they're an FCS team, or you don't see their record or anything like that. So, I mean, let's just go round table. W or loss, Tim?
Win.
Matt?
Like Will Compton said, they're the school of the blind. A win is an understatement. Like, this is our shutout game. We should be able to shut them out.
God, I love Compton. All right, yep. Kenny.
W. I mean,
okay.
They might as well have put Doan on the schedule.
Yep.
Or Carney.
Yeah.
Man, that would have been great. You're gonna schedule somebody like Houston Christian. Why not Carney, man? Come on.
Yeah, let's get him a couple pesos. Yeah.
Keep that money in state. Come on.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And W over here. So far, collectively, we're starting out, was it 1, 2, 3-0, guys? Collectively here, we're all on the same page so far. I will guarantee this. By the end of this list, we all will not. I guarantee mine will definitely be much different from everybody else's by the time we're done.
Yeah, but you're going to have us undefeated.
Matt, that's irrelevant. That is irrelevant. That is not even an argument. All right, so then here we go. Now we start to get into the meat and bones already into the schedule. We got the Wolverines coming into Lincoln September 20th. Now, I know a lot of fans, Tim, are thinking, okay, this is going to be a win. Like, they're almost automatically counting this as a win just because their head coach is suspended for the game. What did they finish? 8-5 last year, 7th in the Big Ten, 5-4 in the Big Ten. 10 returning starters from the sources I had. That's third among returning starters in the Big Ten anyway. 8 on offense, 5 on defense. And transfer portal, I saw they added 10 guys. This is, look, I don't care how down of a year they kind of had last year, just after their national title season. But no. This is not a give me. This is not a gimme game. This is not one of those where we're going to happen to run away with it. They're not going to come in prepared. They're going to come in prepared. They have question marks, but Tim, Michigan's coming in prepared, man.
Yeah, this is the first game on the schedule and one of, really only a handful of opponents that I think you can really make an argument maybe has a more talented roster, if not more talented top end of the roster than Nebraska. That's this Michigan team. The vibe this game gives me as we get closer to it is very similar to last year's Nebraska-Illinois game. Kind of flipped where Nebraska's the one in Illinois' shoes. Michigan's the one in Nebraska's shoes. Entering this game, obviously, again, roles are switched. Michigan's the one on the road. But Michigan comes in with a freshman quarterback making what would be his first start on the road or second start on the road. Yep. But again, a big game atmosphere. I think the conversation around Michigan's offense this year is going to be very similar to Nebraska's at points last year, where it's like, okay, well, the quarterback certainly has something, but he needs better weapons around him. Mm-hmm. Like they got in a transfer in Donovan McCulley from Indiana, who I think has a chance to kind of be their leading receiver, play a big role. They got a few freshmen, one freshman in Andrew Marsh, I think going to play a big role for them. But that room probably deserves some upgrades for Bryce Underwood's sake. Where Nebraska is going to get challenged by Michigan, that defense is still very talented. And that running back room is about as good as it gets, about as good as you find in this country. Justice Haynes at the top, Jordan Marshall right behind him. Sounds like Haynes is going to be a little banged up to start the year. I don't know if he's going to be ready for this game. Regardless, I think Nebraska's going to have Jordan Marshall is going to be one of the best running backs Nebraska faces this year. It doesn't matter if Haynes is healthy or not. This is going to be one of the best running backs Nebraska faces this year. Bryce Underwood is as talented as they come. Again, he's going to be fresh. He's a freshman playing in his third or fourth game without his head coach. He's going to be fresh, but number one player in the country for a reason. 6'4", dynamic with his legs, a true threat to run the ball with his legs, and a cannon for an arm. So he's a guy that's going to challenge Nebraska in a lot of different ways. When you talk about pure talent and pure upside, outside of Drew Aller and Nico, there isn't a more talented quarterback Nebraska will face this season.
Yep.
That's what scares me is especially mobile quarterbacks. Historically, our defenses, I don't care who they've been. It could have been the 94 defense, 95 defense, doesn't matter. We have always had issues with mobile quarterbacks, guys, or that were that dual threat. I mean, unless
everyone does.
I understand that, but it seems like that is what always would beat us. We would allow them to beat us with their legs, even if they weren't the best throwers. We would allow them to beat us with their legs. So it's one of those things where, Tim, that's why it worries me. Granted, yes, he's going to be on the road in front of 85, 90,000 plus screaming right into his ear. But like you said, he's a 5-star, number one in the country for a reason. He's been in high-pressure situations before. He's ready for the college atmosphere, I believe. So, this is the one that does worry me. I do believe we can win it, but it's one where the Black Shirts, they are going to need to be locked in and dialed in, starting whistle to final whistle. So, I mean, what do you think, Matt? I mean, what do you think?
I think without their head coach, it really does change a lot of things. So if this game was at Michigan, I might think a little bit differently. Like the big house. It's a noon game, 2:30 game. Is it even announced yet? I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a night game.
No, the Michigan game will not be a night game. Exactly. Kenny, you're going to be there. Is it the afternoon game, the 2:30 game? Yeah, you're muted.
You're muted.
I'm not actually sure what it is, actually.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's
Yeah,
daytime, nighttime.
I don't know if it's been announced yet or not, but
It's going to be on a Saturday, though.
Yeah.
It's on a Saturday.
I think there's too many things that go our way. Like Sharon Moore not coaching, like freshman quarterback. Is he talented? Yes, but so is Dylan. And you saw some of the growing pains last year, especially like when we had to play Illinois. Like that was the first really, really great team we played, and they were good. They were really good. And he struggled a little bit. And I think it's going to be that kind of game for them, except for they want to run the ball. So, I mean, stop the run. I still see us winning this game at home. If it was in Michigan, maybe a different story. Maybe they could squeak one out, like a field goal at the buzzer, what Iowa, for some fucked up reason, always likes to do to us. But I think, honestly, this Bryce Underwood, it's overwhelming to come to Nebraska and 90,000 fans. I mean, that's hard. I mean, it could be an 11 o'clock game, and our fans are going to be so hyped for that. It's Michigan.
Oh, yes.
How can you not be hyped for that game? And the recruits we have in town, like Enroll knows this, he's going to have that team ready. Like, I think we win this game. Easy. I call it a W.
Okay. All right, Kenny. Remember, you're on mute. Just before I bring you, there you go. All right, cool. All right. So, I mean, Kenny, historically against Michigan since joining the Big Ten, we don't have the best record. But this might be one of the better teams we've had in recent past to take down the Wolverines. And like Matt has said, like Tim has said, Matt, I'm sure will be back in a moment. But it's in Lincoln. It's not in the big house. This is one I think the defense is going to rise up and ultimately take for us. What do you think?
I hope so. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pissed dudes standing on that sideline if it doesn't go the way we expect it to happen. You get what I'm saying? You get my drift? Yeah. They should have extra motivation because of that in
just
itself.
A little.
Yeah. And to understand that the 95 championship team was going to be there and on the sideline, they're honoring us before the game. And you telling me you can't come out here hyped up? It played a part last year against Colorado. Trust me.
Yes, it did.
They don't know the Colorado rivalry. They heard about it. But to see us there and then them coming out with Colorado coming there, that added a little more juice to the fire.
Yeah, you all lived that rivalry.
Yeah, and to see us come out before them, and then they came out for them to see us in the locker room getting hot. I mean, it added something to it. So, I mean, Michigan is Michigan. This is some of the things that people forget. The average Joe, Tim's aware of it.
They're blue blood.
Matt's aware of it. Yeah, they've always gotten those players. Ohio State, like I said before, they're going to always get those players. It's about who's coaching those players that makes the difference. And I wish Coach Wright nothing but the best. But unfortunately, there's a little drop off with Coach Harbaugh not there. That man's proven coach. So I think this is our opportunity to jump on them, put the hammer to them, send a message. Defense comes out and plays well and get the heat on the young quarterback or whomever they have back there behind center. It'll totally set that tone. We need Raiola to be on top of his game. We need to be physical because that's what they're about, because that's the tone Harbaugh set that they're trying to continue with. So we can overmatch them in the physicality aspect of the game and execute without making and minimize mistakes. I think we come out with a win.
All righty. And of course, you know me, I'm taking the W on this one. I think we finally get that monkey off our back there against the Wolverines. And some payback is owed. Tim, isn't Houseman still over there at linebacker?
Yep.
Okay, good. Come on into Lincoln, buddy. I know he was very, very nice in his words at Big Ten Media Days when they asked him about having to play here this year. And, very nice words, but, of course he's a Wolverine now. And he said, ultimately, I'm going in there to get out of there with a win. And we want to send you home with a loss. So I'm sorry, Houseman. We're going big red this year, man. All right. Collectively now, I believe we've got ourselves going 4-0. So let's keep moving it right along here. Next, we got Michigan State and Lincoln. October 4th, Memorial Stadium, Sparty's coming in. Sparty had themselves kind of a down season last year. If you look at it, the record was 5-7, finished 14th in the Big Ten with a 3-6 conference record. Tim, I found they had returning 9 starters, 5 on offense, 4 on defense. And then their transfer portal, that I couldn't find at all. It said not publicly listed. So I would assume you've got better sources than I do. So that was one of the ones I was like, I wonder if Tim maybe knows.
Yeah, a few additions for them. They're a team I'm waiting to see what we see from them the first couple of weeks of the season, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. I think that offense is capable of taking a sizable step forward, depending on what they get out of Aiden Childs, the quarterback in his third year with Jonathan Smith, but his second year at Michigan State and second year starting. And he's a guy that has immense potential, but didn't really come together. Had some real low lows last year. Had some solid highs. Has a reliable receiver in Nick Marsh that is going to challenge Nebraska. I'm actually intrigued to see how Nebraska matches up with him. I'm curious if that's one where Sierre travels with him. What we've been told is at least Nebraska is going to have kind of Sierre traveling with that top receiver. I don't know if that's the ideal matchup for Sierre. I feel like that's more of an Andrew Marshall type matchup. So going to see how Nebraska matches up with Nick Marsh. But yeah, I think my question with Michigan State is really just on their ceiling. I think Nebraska wins this game regardless, but I do want to see how they perform the first couple of weeks, where this defense is, and just how much trouble they can give Nebraska's offense. Because I do think Nebraska's defense is going to be able to keep this offense relatively in check, barring some significant step forward. I think this offense is more consistent and takes a good step forward. Maybe not the step forward needed to actually challenge Nebraska in this game.
Yeah, I could see Childs maybe giving us fits early. He is that dual threat type quarterback. And like you said, I saw flashes of where his potential could actually be by the end of his career in college. And it's a pretty high ceiling. He's got that potential. He can move around nicely in the pocket, but does seem like he can get happy feet, get a little irritated in the pocket, if you will, and likes to maybe scramble when he doesn't really need to. The pocket's not really breaking down yet, but he's looking to get out and roll. But that's another one of those, that dual threat quarterback. I mean, I'm going to be interested to see how we handle that 2 weeks in a row. Granted, we're going to face a much better one the week before with Michigan, but we're facing a much more experienced one that very next week with Sparty. So it's one of those things where, I think this is going to be a W as well. I'm with you. I'm not sure there's going to be a huge jump offensively for Michigan State, but they will be improved. That's for sure. They're definitely going to make a bowl game this year, I believe. So I'm predicting a W. And it's just one of those things where I want to see how our defense responds to another dual threat quarterback 2 weeks in a row. So Matt, go right ahead, man. What are you thinking? Sparty coming into Lincoln.
It's a win. They're rebuilding. You said you think they can make a bowl game this year. I don't personally.
I think they can squeak one more out.
I think they got a lot of work to do, and this is a win.
I haven't seen Michigan State's schedule, though. Maybe I should have looked at their schedule before saying they could make a bowl game. That's my bad.
I don't think they make a bowl game. I haven't seen their schedule, nor do I care what their schedule is.
Yeah,
they really are not a very good team this year. Their quarterback is going to give teams problems, but
yes,
they're kind of a mess. They need to rebuild big time, and they're on the right direction, but this is not even close.
All right, Kenny, you've seen it in recent years. This game with Michigan State, it can be like when we play Northwestern. Throw the records out the window. Forget what stats are. It's always a weird game. It seems like with Michigan State, it's always a weird game. And what was it, a year or two ago? We go to East Lansing. Should have been a win. Should have been, I believe, our 6th win on the season is what we were going for at that time. And come out flat. Come out and play against a team that I believe only had 1 or 2 wins at the time when we played them and just looked like crap, literally, the whole game. So, I mean, Kenny, granted, we got him in Lincoln. We're all collectively agreed so far that we're 4-0 going into this game. Do you think the hype train continues? Do you think it keeps rolling on?
I think it's a game we should win, but a lot of these games, like the Michigan game and this game, is going to depend on which Nebraska team shows up. All 4 of us know on here that we've been so inconsistent in games we should have won that for some reason we didn't win. That baffles the hell out of all 4 of us.
Consistent with being inconsistent.
We literally are sitting here, regardless of who's the coach and who's been the coach. We literally say, how did that happen?
Yep.
The Vinny Barbarino, I'm so confused, welcome back, Cotter, that type stuff. You're sitting there like, what's going on? I mean, so for some reason,
I don't think it's this game.
Yeah, for some reason, Michigan State, Northwestern, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
We always have wishy-washy games against them. And why? So, but I'm going to say a win, but hopefully the correct Nebraska team shows up. And that's, you guys know I'm not a homer, but if they come and play, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to put this out there. So I'll stop saying it. Our season's going to be based on how the offense plays all year.
Yes.
Defense, if they continue, it's going to be on the right path. But
that's the emphasis too.
Yeah, it's going to be on what our offense does.
All right. So collectively, we're 5-0. 5-0. Games are done at home. We move right along.
Probably ranked too, like right around.
I would think a 5-0, especially. Yes,
like 15 to 20 area, which is where I would love us to be. Right there, especially not any higher than that. I think ranked in between 15 to 20, perfect.
That's fine with me. 5-0, I'll take that anytime. Just keep winning. All right. After Sparty comes to Lincoln, we take our real true first road test. We go into College Park, Maryland, and take on the Terrapins. That'll be on October 11th. All right. So, Tim, Maryland can be a weird one. This is one that I'm actually worried about because you never know. Like Kenny said, you never know what Nebraska team you're going to get some weeks. You never know what Maryland team you're going to get week to week almost anymore. Now, Maryland last year, they did finish only 4-8, 17th in the Big Ten. That was second to last in the Big Ten. And they finished 1-8 conference record. That's terrible. Returning starters, I only saw 4, 3 on offense, 1 on defense. The first search, though, I found said they had 13 returning starters. So I'm not sure which number there is correct, Tim. Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. All right.
But
so,
yeah.
You could say somewhere in between that number then, maybe 10, just to kind of equal it. Okay, we'll say 10. And then transfer portal. Man, they added 17 guys, and 7 of those were in the spring portal alone. So they look to have added the pieces that they were looking for. Obviously, if you're adding 17 guys, you're going for the pieces of that puzzle that you're missing that you need to insert right away in order to get the big picture. But what do you think, Tim? Maryland, this is one of those games, man. I'm worried about it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think there's things in this game that can challenge Nebraska. I think Maryland's going to have by this game, if he doesn't start the year, I think by this game he's going to end up being the starter. Malik Washington, a freshman quarterback from the state of Maryland, state championship quarterback in the state. Really big fan of what he did as a junior and senior at Archbishop Spalding. A guy I'm super high on. I think he's a guy that the staff sees as kind of a job saver for Mike Loxley and that staff. They kind of see him as a guy that can elevate the program ceiling, and a guy that, hey, I think they think there's enough flashes, plus the recruiting class they're putting together to kind of turn around and show the Maryland athletic department that they deserve a little more time to get this thing off the ground. So I think Malik, if he's a starting quarterback by that time, can challenge Nebraska. Dual threat guy, again, bigger frame type quarterback. Has a receiver in Jalil Farouk, who transferred in from Oklahoma. I think is one of those like kind of do it all guys, going to be very productive out of the slot, can line up outside. So overall, yeah, there's things about Maryland that I think is going to challenge Nebraska. I think more than anything, this is going to be a game that helps set this team up for the rest of the slate, the rest of the season.
Yep.
But ultimately, I do think Nebraska pulls away. I just think they're deeper. I think they're bigger on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I think they're just more experienced. And I think this is the point of the season. Post-Michigan game onward is the point of the season where I'm assuming the narrative, or I'm kind of banking on the narrative around Dylan Raiola shifting a bit, where it's like, oh yeah, this is a guy. Like this is one of the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten. And by that game, it's kind of like, okay, well, he's got to lead his team. They've got to put up points. I think the narrative on Nebraska's team has a very good chance on changing, a couple weeks into the season. But by this Maryland game, I think is when it's like, okay, well, yeah, this team can put up points and they have a quarterback that can elevate this whole program.
All right, Matt. Well, what do you think? Tim's got it with a W. I mean, I'll give mine last, but we'll go to you first, Matt. What do you got? What do you got going on?
I think it's a W, but I think this game is a lot closer than you would think. I think this is one of those games where really has to sit his team down and be like, look, you are the better team, but we have to have you play. And if you guys don't play and play to our standard, we could drop this game. I honestly feel that this is going to be a lot closer than you think. Like I have us winning, but it's going to be by like 3, 7, maybe 10 at the most, and that's it. And another sequence that I don't want to put past is there's always the look ahead, because the following week that's a tough test. But I think we'll win this game, but it's going to be closer than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one, Matt. And I'll give that here in a second. Kenny, I mean, it's the first real road game of the season. It's far away from home, but our fans travel well. You think they're going to be traveling and attending another W? Are we going to be going in, 5-0, 6-0? 6-0?
We should. I'm going to say W, but Maryland is so sporadic on how they play every year.
Yes.
You can watch them one time on TV and be like, damn. And then the next time you see them, you're like, what was that? You know what I mean? It's
he's right.
It's literally like, because they have the players.
Yeah.
It's like something clicks to where they don't just put it together. But
and Loxley's a good coach.
Yeah. So. Hopefully, I mean, I'm going to say we take the W, but it just depends on which Maryland team shows up. I mean, I'm going to say W now, of course, but then I'll see how they're playing leading up to that, and that'll kind of give me an idea of where we're going to be once that game actually arrives. You know what I mean?
I can see us losing this game. I can. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Right.
But
you get the potential to lose it is there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're so sporadic, Maryland is so.
But I don't think it'll happen. I think we'll win.
Yeah.
For me, I think this one will be maybe a little bit sluggish on our side of the ball offensively. I could see us struggling a little bit. Things won't look maybe as crisp as they might have a game or two before. I'm with you, Matt. I could see this being close. I really do. I could see this being at the most a 10-point victory. I am predicting a W, but Matt, I'm with you. I could see it being only 3 points as well. It's one of those. I don't want to say trap game.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say a trap game.
No,
but I think this is a very important game.
It is.
To not overlook. Like, don't get too far ahead of yourself. You need to be in the moment.
Yes. All right. So we got 6-0 so far. Are we going to be going 7-0? We're about to find out. Week after that, we've got Minnesota at Minneapolis. We're going to PJ Fleck's house, where they like to row the boat, October 18th. Oh, God, I have disliked Fleck for so long. that when he started saying nice things about Matt Rule and the team at Big Ten Media Days, even then I was like, that's not enough. That's not enough for me to like him yet. So, Tim, let's look at Minnesota. Record last year wasn't too shabby. I mean, 8-5, finished 8th in the Big Ten, 5-4 conference record. I found 10 returning starters, 5 on offense, 5 on defense. It's a good thing to have. And as far as the transfer portal goes, the alternate sources were telling me that they have 20 plus and they're ranked as high as 4th in portal class. So, I mean, is there validity to that one there, Tim? They're ranked that high as far as their signing portal class?
I don't know if it's exactly that high, but I do know they put together a pretty solid class in the portal this year. Added some to the line, added Malachi Coleman from Nebraska, added a few pieces to the defense. They've upgraded a bit. Man. I mean, this is the one. I mean, this is for me. I kind of see Nebraska tripping up here just because it's a short week. It's on the road. A lot of different factors with it. So I see Nebraska tripping up here. I think Darius Taylor is going to really challenge Nebraska from the backfield. They're going to get solid quarterback play. My question with Minnesota this year is just the weapons. I mean, they're really leaning on Malachi Coleman to be a guy for them. And I just don't know if Malachi Coleman is going to be able to be that for them this year. You know, I don't know. Because he missed the spring. He's been banged up. So I don't know 100% what that pass catching room is going to look like, what those weapons besides Darius Taylor offensively look like. But I do think there's some confidence in the O-line. There's some confidence in obviously Darius Taylor. And I mean, they expect the defense to be salty, even though they lost their defensive coordinator. I think that's a sneaky offseason departure that not enough people are talking about. Their defensive coordinator off to Miami, took that job down there. So, I think there's some questions, but I think we should know what to expect out of Minnesota at this point under PJ Fleck. They're going to be salty. Nebraska's going to play them close. This for me is the game. The way I look at this game, this is the game that tells me how Nebraska is going to fare in close games moving forward. I think this is going to be a close game, and I want to see Nebraska keep showing up and keep fighting. Whether it's exchanging scores, whether it's an ugly game where, it's kind of just the race to 13 points or whatever. I don't really know what to expect, but I do expect this Minnesota team to challenge Nebraska. I have Nebraska losing. I'm going to say it's going to be something like 24-27, something like that. But I think this is the one game where I could potentially see this result in Michigan flipping, at least in my prediction.
Okay. All right, Matt, go ahead, man. It's always tough playing in Minneapolis. It really is. Recent years against Fleck haven't boded too well for us. So what do you got happening?
I really am up in the air on this game. Like, Fleck's a good coach. He knows the Big Ten. He knows how to play us. I think we're more talented of a team. And this game really is a toss-up break. I honestly think it's kind of reminds me a lot of Nebraska against Illinois last year. We're going into the game. It's I think we were favored by 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be the exact same thing this year. I think we're going to be favored by right at 3-4 points. And this game can go either way. I still think we're too much for Minnesota. Like, we are talented wise a better team, but are we a better coach team? If that makes sense. So I will say it's a W, but it's really close. And it's if Rule can figure out a way to win that close game, which he's struggled against. I can see us losing this game, but I'll say like a 3-point win, field goal. And so I will call this a win.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay. I like it. All right, Kenny, you've seen recent history against Minnesota. When we joined the Big Ten, it seemed like we could check that one off as a W each year. And here in recent years, that is definitely not the case whatsoever. They've had our number. PJ Fleck's had the Huskers number. So what do you think going into Minneapolis? Are we coming out 7-0 or are we coming out 6-1? What do you think, Kenny? Oh, yeah. You froze for a second there. You taking the L? Taking the L.
That was a slow motion L. I wasn't frozen.
I can see it. I can.
Because for some rhyme or reason, they have our number. Why? I do not know. Say everything Matt said. You guys said, it's just for some reason, we somehow, some way have found a way to continuously recently lose to them. How and why is mind-boggling. But we should win. But that's the homer in me.
Yep.
But in reality, I honestly think we might lose that game. Honestly think we're going to lose that game.
And I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, you know where the hell I'm going with this. So,
me.
Exactly. But I think
I'm also banking on Rule's third year.
Exactly.
Like, Rule has a tendency to push his teams to like an average team to a great team by year 3. So
yes,
I'm going to stick with that thinking and hoping that that's exactly how he goes in and treats that game.
And me, I'm kind of with you where the score should be, Matt, somewhere in that probably 3 margin, maybe 7 at the most.
Yeah, I'm talking like a 24-21, maybe 27-24 victory for Nebraska.
And for me, I'm thinking it's coming down to the Black Shirts making their stand in that game. I think it's going to come down to them needing to make that stop. Minnesota possibly has the ball with little over 2 minutes or just under 2 minutes left, only down by 3 or 7. They need a field goal or a touchdown to tie with the extra point. I'm banking on the Black Shirts to make that stop. 4th down and 7, pass breakup or pickoff.
To a T, what I was thinking, and they know they can't run the ball, and they're going to have to throw it, and they don't have the horses for receiver or tight end to be able to win that game. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's one I'm worried about. Minnesota's always tough. But yeah, I'm going with the W. So, God help me. I'm going 7-0. Going 7-0 right now.
I agree.
Oh God. Don't let me be wrong. Don't let me be wrong. All right. Moving right along, Tim. Then we got Northwestern, October 25th in Lincoln, coming back home. This is the one that's going to be weird. I mean, thank God it's in Lincoln for me. It's for me, it's going to be a little bit weird. Northwestern 4-8 last year, finished 16th in the Big Ten. That was 3rd to last in the conference, 2-7 in conference play. Returning starters, I had found my source had said 10, 4 on offense, 6 on defense. And as far as the transfer portal goes, I had an alternate source that says they had 15 as of June 25th. So, look, Tim, throw all that out because it's Northwestern, man. It's always weird. I think there's maybe been 2 instances the entire time since joining this conference where it's been a lopsided victory. So, what do you think, Tim? We got him in Lincoln. Is it another weird game, or is this one where we finally just be like, enough's enough. We need to put this away right away.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the weirdness it's the Pat Fitzgerald of it all. And he's not there anymore. I kind of think this is closer to like the 52-3 game we saw, a couple years ago. I think it's going to be closer to that. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in the Northwestern team. I think they're going to be the worst team probably in the conference, if not Purdue. I mean, it's one of those two.
Yep. Purdue finished bottom of the barrel, and I mean Northwestern was 3rd to the bottom of the barrel. All right, so Tim, you going with a W on this one, I would assume. Then,
yes, sir.
Right? Is this one of those you think we're gonna maybe like an Akron or Houston Christian thing where we could have backups in the second half, like maybe right away in the second half, or maybe around the 4th quarter?
I think so. I think good opportunity for that. And again, depending on how that Minnesota game goes, could just be like a prove it, tune-up game for this backstretch of the schedule.
All right. So we got a W out of Tim. Kenny, let's go to you real quick. I mean, you've seen the history between us and Northwestern. It's so messed up. Sometimes it's almost more messed up than the Iowa series. I don't care, because it doesn't matter what their record is. It doesn't matter.
They play us tough.
How exactly. Yep. It's like, what the hell?
Kid play us tough. There's the difference.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't have Pat Fitzgerald anymore.
Yeah. No, I think this year is gonna be a breeze.
Okay.
They're down. He's not there. It should be. It should be a W.
He should be there.
Like I said, the Minnesota was wishy-washy for me because of Minnesota, but we know PJ Fleck is there. That's why I gave him the L, because somehow, some way, he ends up finding a way to beat us for what mind-boggling reason. I don't know. Yeah. But Pat Fitzgerald's not there. They're rebuilding. They had all that little stuff going on with the hazing and all that. I think we get him.
Well, let's not forget Fitzgerald, I believe, just won that lawsuit too for being fired. So Northwestern's out some cash. Quite a bit. Oh, he's kidding. We thought Frost got paid for getting fired. Oh, no.
They would have made more money if they just kept him.
Exactly. Fitzy made out like a bandit.
Really, really good coach.
Yes, I've always respected Fitzgerald. Always, 100%. Never had an issue with him whatsoever. Always looked forward to seeing him on the sideline when we played against him. Absolutely. I've got nothing against Fitzgerald whatsoever. I think he's a hell of a coach. If somebody hires him, they got a good coach. I don't care who it is. So, Matt, what do you think, Matt? Is this
when,
like
Tim said? I'm not even going to go into a big explanation. Bottom of the barrel Big Ten. They're going to be competing for last place, Northwestern and Purdue, in my honest opinion.
All right, well, here it is, moving right along. I kind of wanted to make this graphic, in like some sort of black format or something like that, but it was late. I was like, I'm getting tired, man. I just need to put this shit together and put it on there. So we got USC coming to Lincoln November 1st, blackout game. Guys are going to be wearing the all black alt unis. Oh boy, Tim, if this shakes out to be possibly, Nebraska being 8-0 going into this game, and USC being 8-0 going into this game. Let's say they make it a primetime game. It's at night, alternate uniforms. Somehow the old guards of fans listen and actually wear black to the damn game. What do you think goes on in this game, Tim? This is huge. This is the big one. Let me see this real quick. God, I forgot to flip pages, folks. I am behind. There we go. We'll just get rid of that right there. All right, so USC 7-6 last year, finished 9th in the Big Ten with a 4-5 conference record. Not too good. Returning starters, I had 8, 5 on offense, 3 on defense. And as far as the transfer portal goes, it was kind of conflicting on the numbers, but I had 15, and they were ranked 18th or 19th roughly as far as portal class goes. So, Tim, this is not going to be the 4-5 conference play Trojans we saw last year. Now, we should have gotten that game last year. Kind of got screwed, but at the same time, still kind of beat ourselves a little bit. But we got them in Lincoln this year. What goes down if both teams are undefeated prime time?
Yeah. With USC, for me, I think it comes down to what you think of Jade Maeva. I think he's good. I think he's good, like even good enough to win games in the Big Ten. I do think he's on the lower end of the totem pole in terms of quarterbacks Lincoln Riley has just ever had. So what does that mean? As long as he can get the ball to where it's supposed to go, I think they have the weapons to win 8-9 kind of games. Can walk into this game undefeated as well, or enter this game undefeated as well. As I'm getting closer to this, with the blackout, with it being at home, I am leaning more Nebraska just because I think my question with USC is going to be at the quarterback position. I don't have that question at Nebraska. I think Nebraska is going to have, especially come this game, an answer at quarterback. And I think it's going to be, the way people are talking about Dylan and Jaden going into the game is going to be a little different than they are now. I think most national folks kind of see them in the same tier as like guys that need have something to prove, have a chance to take a sizable step forward this year. I think it's going to be clear by this game that Dylan's like, again, the guy for Nebraska, and Jaden's, like a very solid quarterback that can win games, but kind of just a plug and play type guy. So on the flip side of that, USC has better weapons. I think they have 2 receivers that have a chance to, potentially get drafted in the first round this year. I think this defense is going to be really talented, and it's going to take a step forward from last year, especially up front. I think they've made some additions to the defensive front. Kamari Ramsey is one of my favorite DBs in the country. Huge fan of his game. Excited to see what he does this year for the Trojans. So I think Nebraska sneaks out with this one. I think it's going to be like a 6-ish point. I'm going to say like 34-27, something like that, like just like a 6-point type game, 1-score game. I think Nebraska sneaks away with this one. And just because it's home, it's the night game. I think this is going to get treatment to like that Michigan's game is going to have a lot of hype, especially if Nebraska walks into this game undefeated or with 1 loss. I think this energy matches Colorado last year.
Yeah, at that point, if we're walking in undefeated or with 1 loss and USC's coming in with the same, either undefeated or possibly 1 loss, I mean, you're talking not only Big Ten title game implications, but you're also at that point talking college football playoff implications.
Yep.
So, Matt, what do you think? This is a tough one, man, but we're supposed to have all the hype coming in, the alternates, a night game, possibly ranked high, both teams. What do you got happening, Matt?
Well, I think if it's a primetime game, yeah, we win. If it's an 11 o'clock or a 2:30 game, I think that honestly benefits USC, even with the alternates and stuff like that. But I still think we win this game. I really do. So I think it will be a primetime game. I don't know if USC will be undefeated coming into that game, but I'll give us a W. And that is the homer in me because I can easily see us drop this game.
Yeah, it could happen.
But as of right now, I will say we win that game.
All right. Kenny, I mean, USC is one of those teams where they almost at this point feel kind of like a Notre Dame. Always a ton of preseason hype for them. Always
they played Notre Dame earlier.
See, there you go. It just seems like those 2 teams are just destined to play each other every year because it seems like every
rivals.
Ton of hype behind them. Usually ranked within the top 20, if not the top 15 to start the season or higher. And Kenny, God, what do you think, man? If it ends up being prime time, does that make the difference or does it matter what time the game is?
No, it goes back to like what Tim said. It depends on USC is going to get those skill players. It's USC once again, another blue blood. So they're going to get the skill players. So they're hyping their preseason rankings based on who they have on their roster.
Yeah.
But what determines how well their roster plays is their quarterback play. And with his style of offense in which he calls, he needs the quarterback that's going to be able to execute it. So depending on how their quarterback plays, that's going to dictate or determine where they're at this season. But I'm just early season prediction, preseason prediction. I'm going to go with us with the win on that one. I'm going to say us with the win because of our defense.
Yeah, USC's defensive line too is projected to be really good, like one of the best in the country. But the main reason I'm giving us a W also is because Lincoln Riley, he is just not known to have stellar defenses.
He seems to be under the damn hot seat every year.
Yeah,
it's because
been one of his deficiencies. I mean, he is an offensive genius, but I mean, even at Oklahoma with Baker Mayfield as senior, like they were good enough to play for a national title, and they lost because of their defense.
Yeah, I think his defense is outscoring everybody.
Yeah,
and I think that's his philosophy is.
Yep.
And if you're saying their defensive line is pretty good, see USC even under Coach Carroll, they were good with the skill players they had because they had monsters on that defensive line.
Oh,
when USC can get monsters on their defensive line, like they were doing their era, they are a problem because everything else around the monsters are legit.
Yep.
Are
Agreed.
legit.
Players.
Yeah, are legit. So it depends on how well their line is playing, as Matt said, and I'm sure Tim is aware of their line because you guys follow that type stuff. And the quarterback play, that's going to determine where they're at this year when we face them. So I got a W, but depends on where they're at.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was going to say they made some splashy additions in the portal on the defensive line. Keyshawn Silver from North Carolina. They added Jamal Jarrett from Georgia. Again, two guys that were former 4 or 5 stars. Again, like you talk, like the monster types you want in the D line, but those guys transfer for a reason, are relatively unproven.
Because they never played.
I think, yeah, exactly. So where they're at this year and where they're playing, how they're playing on the field, I think by November will dictate this game. And the point about Lincoln Riley, it's not Alex Grinch anymore, which, by the way, do y'all know where Alex Grinch is now? You know what he's up to now?
No, I have no idea.
He's Scott Frost's defensive coordinator.
Oh my God. And I like Grinch.
Yeah.
Like, he comes up with a very unique scheme that's very hard to prepare for, but they just, Lincoln Riley just for some reason just cannot find success on defense.
And so that's the thing. So it's not Grinch anymore, and I do trust the staff that's there leading the defense now, but they weren't, they took a solid step forward, but nothing, they didn't blow the world away last year. And so, and I think in general, I felt it last year, and now we're in year 2, so we're going to see more of this. I wondered a lot when Lincoln was at early USC and at Oklahoma, if he had a somewhat soft culture, and was that just like an Alex Grinch thing, specifically with the defense, or is that a Lincoln Riley thing? Last year, I felt like it was still a bit of a Lincoln Riley thing. And that's, I worry about that when Nebraska, when they're on the road in Lincoln in a packed out blackout stadium. If it's a soft culture compared to what culture that Nebraska has put together, I don't know. I think I'm leaning Nebraska this game just because of all of those different reasons, even with, they may have better top end talent, but I'm still leaning Nebraska just because, culture. And it's a roster that, when you go further down into it, it's like, I don't know about some of these guys. So we'll see.
Yep, I'm there. I'm W for me. I think this one will be close. I could actually see this being one where we get the game-winning drive or the game-winning field goal. I could see it coming down to that. I could see it being like an Alex Henry, Colorado type situation. I could see it being something like that. Absolutely. Who the heck did they list as our starting kicker? I did not see that one.
Hasn't been announced yet, but it's leaning towards Knutzen.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe.
Okay. All right. Because Alvano.
And he's got a leg.
Okay,
Rule said that he feels comfortable with all of our kickers from 48 yards.
Oh, damn. Oh, wow.
So
we haven't been able to say that for
all of our kickers. Comfortable.
I can't even remember the last time we could say that about a kicker.
Alex Henry.
There we go. 2009. Then. Oh, my God. Wow.
It's been a while.
God,
stepped away from being kicker you.
Oh, man. All right. So, for me, I've already got us 9-0. Tim, Kenny, you guys got us at 8-1. Lone loss being at Minnesota. Matt, you're actually with me so far. We're sitting 9-0, bud. I know it's going to change in 2 games. I guarantee you're going to change it in 2 games.
I got to see it.
Okay. Here we go. All right.
Minnesota and
next
USC
game.
Scares me the most.
Next game, we got UCLA the next week on November 8th in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. All right. Now, Tim, this one, I want this to be a slaughter. I understand that this is at the Rose Bowl, but historically, well, not historically, but in recent history, the attendance that UCLA gets inside the Rose Bowl is pathetic. There's no other way to describe it. It's absolutely pathetic when you watch games on TV that are there, because that place holds so many people and they barely, sometimes it's not even half full. And I think that's such an embarrassment. I think our fans are going to take over that stadium that night or day, whatever, time kickoff may be. But Tim, I want to hear from you. For me personally, I want this to be a slaughter. I want this to be payback like a son of a bitch from last year because we never should have lost that game. Yep. But UCLA, they went 5-7 last year, finished 12th in the Big Ten, 3-6 conference record. 6 returning starters that I saw, 4 on offense, 2 on defense. And the transfer portal. Whew, you confirmed this for me, I believe. It said 31, but it's 30 plus. And I couldn't find any other sources, but that's a lot. So, I mean, is this going to be one of those things where, yes, we're getting payback and on a monster level? Or is this one of those where their fans are actually going to show up, maybe fill over half the stadium and give our team fits?
They're the team in the Big Ten, I think, is the biggest enigma to me. I think they're a team that through fall camp so far, we've heard some positive things about where Nico's at. He's the quarterback there now. They have a pretty talented receiver. Nebraska got burnt by some of those receivers last year. Solid offensive line. They've made they've added some weapons to an already salty defense. They have some legit defensive line depth. At the same time, it's been a weird fall camp for the staff. They've been closed off to media. They've been defensive about being closed off to media, and that's not the actions of a program that's confident in the program they're putting out, especially one that's in LA. When you see how USC is operating and you see how UCLA is operating in terms of branding, in terms of how to operate in this current era, I see 2 very different programs right now. I see USC that's leaning into branding, leaning into all of this and getting the guys
living out loud in the open.
Right. UCLA, not so much. It's been a quiet fall camp. They don't really see, and maybe it is just like an old school staff of like just not really seeing the benefit in media and trying to do things an old school way. Eric Bieniemy's the offensive coordinator. It is an old school staff. So that's why they're an enigma, because there are a lot of positive things, and this is a roster that is improved upon from last year. But I do wonder, this is a better Nebraska team. Is this the type of game where Nebraska kind of killed some of those demons they had last year? This is a game they should win. On paper, they should win.
Yes.
I think again, if this team is what we think they are, they should win this game. Ultimately, I want to see where UCLA is at midway through this season. Where's Nico? How far along is he in this offense? I think the defense is going to be salty. How salty, we'll have to see. But I mean, there's a chance this thing is like, hey, this is going to be a competitive game. Nebraska has a chance to pull away because they're deeper and more talented. Or this is a game where, oh man, well, the train has completely come off the tracks. This is a disaster. I don't know why Nico transferred there. That's the way this season's going for UCLA. There's only 2 ways. It's either a disaster because of all of these different changes, or it all works out. It all goes really well, and they're competitive. They push for 7-8 plus wins, and they give Nebraska a pretty good test on the road in front of, again, if they are competitive at that point, I think it should be like a pretty sizable Rose Bowl. And I do imagine Nebraska is going to travel well for that game. I imagine Nebraska fans will want to be in attendance at the Rose Bowl. It's a bucket list item.
Yeah, Kenny, didn't you say you're going to try and make the UCLA game this year? Are you muted? No, I don't.
Not muted.
I'll be there like the Jackson 5, baby.
Yeah.
Not too far. Not too far away.
Yeah, it's not too far for you. So
all right.
Hour 10 plane trip.
Well, there you go, Kenny. You're going to be there, so you're going to get to witness it live and in color. Might as well give your prediction about it before you ever get there, man. What are you thinking? Because UCLA has been down a little.
When has UCLA been up?
Well, what was it, 99?
But you get what I'm saying? I mean,
a while.
It's just
they got lucky last year.
I just don't know why recently we folded against them.
That game never should have happened.
And a couple years ago, in Lincoln when they came, it's just ridiculous. So I'm going to say W.
You hesitated,
but I'm going to say W. But if that quarterback is on, that's the one from Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Nico. Yeah, he was good last year, and he played in really tough environments.
And everyone else is clicking. He's definitely gonna be a problem if he's getting protection and he can sit back there and throw it because he's legit. He just listened to some morons in his family and some people around him on that whole NIL deal.
What was it? He wanted $4 million a year, and now he's getting 1.8.
Yeah, woo! Let me hold some of that. But
I was gonna say Dylan's looking at getting 3 this year, Kenny.
What a time to be alive! What a time to be alive! These dudes got a Starbucks in Memorial Stadium, and they've been trash can juice for the last.
Did you Hey Kenny, did you graduate early or did you finish all 4 years?
I finished all.
I was gonna say, if you had any eligibility left, just go back to university, enroll for that time you got left. Just try and be a backup on the team. And just get yourself some NIL money, dude.
I just want some Starbucks. let me get some of that training table. Let me just get on the hot tub or something. These dudes. Yeah, but man, it just depends on how we play and how he's playing. If he's clicking, he can get the ball open, he's getting protection, he's going to be a problem. But we should be a little bit more advanced than them by then. So, because Bieniemy's an excellent play caller.
Yes,
I think Foster is harboring an environment to where he's going to start getting kids. People have to understand that I'm a West Coast kid, so Southwest, but West Coast kid. People got to understand USC is the glamour school.
Yep.
They think the kids that go to UCLA are cornballs. You get what I'm saying? It's just the reality of it. It's like, they're UCLA.
Yep.
You see, even though there's USC, which has a lot of money, with alumni and et cetera. So does UCLA. But UCLA is more snootier than USC. It is. It's
They're
just
in LA.
It's the perception of
they're 40 minutes away from each other.
It's the perception
That's
of
crazy.
The kids that go there. Perception of the alumni, because you got to remember USC was a private school. UCLA used to be a free college.
Oh, damn.
I think President Reagan changed it. But UCLA used to be free.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
now it's more of a business school, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure it's more for business.
But so a lot of the California schools used to be free.
Yep.
Damn.
So but it just depends. But I say W. But they've had we've had crazy games against them like Northwestern and other guys.
All right, Matt. What do you think? The Rose Bowl, man.
I think this is a win.
Okay.
You don't even have to give an explanation. I think this is a win. Nico will give us fits. Depth-wise, again, we're so much more talented than this team.
As long as we don't allow him to
think we were better coached last year.
All right.
We just made some mistakes. Special team sucks. But this year, we fixed a lot of our deficiencies. I think this is a win.
Oh, we came out flat as hell last year against him and just never woke up.
And I'll be right back. I got to plug in.
That was one of those games where it shouldn't have happened, but it happened. But oh well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll be right back. I got to plug in real quick.
Right now, go ahead. Right now, me and Matt, we've got us at, I believe, 10-0. Tim, you and Kenny are sitting at 9-1 apiece. So this is the one where I think that tune changes. Oh, boy. And thank God there's a bye week before this one. We traveled to University Park, Happy Valley, State College, whatever the hell you want to call the place, to play Penn State. This is the one I'm definitely worried about. This is absolutely the one I'll be picking with my heart rather than my brain. So, but Tim, looking at Penn State, man, they finished 13-3 last year, third in the Big Ten, 8-1 conference record, 14 returning starters, 9 on offense, 5 on defense. So they're really only replacing 2 starters on offense. And then the transfer portal. I only found 8, but I had an alternate search that said they only had 1, and it was a linebacker out of North Carolina, Amari Campbell. So Penn State, this is the one a lot of fans are looking at, Tim, to where if we are undefeated going into this game, this is the one they're saying This will probably put the tarnish on the record book for that season. What do you think?
Yeah, this was a we talked a little bit off the air about, Penn State is a program that didn't really need to add anything this offseason, but they did. They definitely made more than that one. They added to the receiver room. That was an area that probably needed a little more juice, a little more upside. And they addressed that. They brought in Trebor Pena, I believe that's his name. And a few more. So they've got a better pass catching room. Kyron Ware-Hudson, who had that incredible catch against Nebraska for USC last year, he's at Penn State now. So they've got a better receiver room. Drew Aller's back. Wasn't really sure if that would be the case. This is going to be the one for Nebraska. Like I think the goal for Nebraska is to have this look like Ohio State last year. Give yourself a shot late in that game. Give yourself an opportunity to maybe have that drive late in that game to potentially win the game, tie it late, something like that. Put yourself in that position, keep it within one score. But to walk into Happy Valley against this team, a team that I think is the favorite to win the Big Ten, and one of a handful of teams that can legitimately win the national championship this year. Nebraska's hope should be stay competitive, prove that you are maybe not that far off from the top of the Big Ten, but ultimately don't be disappointed if this ends up in a loss. I have Nebraska losing this one.
All right. Now, Matt, I'll go to you first since Kenny and Tim were already on the same page as their records so far up to this game. You and I are up to this game. Go for it, Matt.
Not
what
anymore.
do you got happening?
I think we lose this game. So,
okay.
The only thing that gives me some relative ease about this game is Franklin does not. He is bad at big time games.
Yeah.
He just for some reason can never get over the hump, but they're stacked top to bottom.
They're at home.
Yeah. I mean, if this was at Nebraska, I'd feel better, but I would, even if it was at Nebraska, I would still think we lose. I think we lose this game, unfortunately, but I think it's a lot closer than people probably think. I think Tim hit it right on the head. Like, keep this game close late in the fourth quarter, then anything can happen. But yeah, I think we lose this game.
All right, Kenny, go ahead.
Ooh.
Yep.
I believe we go up to Happy Valley and get our asses throttled.
Damn.
I hope not.
I thought he was going somewhere else.
I think it's closer than you think. Like, Ohio State was national champion last year. We kept it within a score.
Yeah, we had a bad game. They had a bad game against us.
No, they did.
I just think
I agree.
Too many horses in the stable. I think we lose. I think we lose off of bad mistakes. It's not going to be them just overpowering us. I think they're going to beat us because we make too many mistakes. Which sometimes you make so many mistakes, it can lead to a lot of points on the board, unfortunately, based on where they're at. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I mean, I think we're going to be mentally ready to play. It's not saying the kids aren't going to be ready. I just think some things aren't going to go our way because of the things we do. And you can't do that with a team that's got like 12 or 14 projected draft picks.
Yeah.
So
they're stacked.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be some heat on Coach Franklin, but this year, man, I don't know. I mean, I hope, of course, I always hope we win, but I just have to look at what we're facing and where we're going in the environment. I wonder if they're going to do a whiteout or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they probably will.
According to me and Brian's record, it'll be a whiteout if we're undefeated going there.
Yeah, so
that we'll be top 10. And
so we'll
be number one probably.
We'll see. So I think it's a loss, but I think it's going to be a bad loss, not numbers wise, but bad loss because of how we perform. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Okay. It might be 14, it might be 10, it might be within that realm, but 17, but it might be because of what we didn't do. Correct.
Yeah.
So one of those bad losses, not an Indiana last year loss.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to see that repeated. That can't happen anymore in the rule era. But me personally, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going with my heart rather than my brain, which I don't think there's much difference between the two anymore. So I guess it doesn't really matter for me. I'm going with a W, but absolutely close. And I mean absolutely close.
Razor thin if we win that.
Oh, game. Yeah, I'm talking like 27-30 or something like that. It is only a 3-point game.
7-28.
Yeah, see, it could be less than 3 even.
Last second.
One of those games where
miracles.
We don't make those mistakes finally on a big game on the road. We actually create those turnovers instead of making them. It's one of those things where if we could silence that damn crowd once it hits 000 on that scoreboard, I'm going to be sound as a pound. I don't care what anybody says.
Can we do it? Yes. Will we do it? No.
We don't know. I'm just going to say we don't know. That's all I'll say. We don't know yet.
That's the glory of college football. Every year's a new year. But
all right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Kenny, Tim, you guys got us, I believe, at 9-2. Matt, you're sitting at 10-1. Guess what? Sitting at 11-0. Awesome. Final game of the season, everybody, and it's with everybody.
We beat Penn State, and we're undefeated. We're the number 1 team in the country, in my opinion.
I would hope so. But a week after that, November 28th, IO comes to Lincoln. And look, I'm just going to say this right now before I give any of their crap from last year. Payback's a bitch. And we are done taking all this crap from IO. I'm sick and tired of these last-second losses. I'm sick and tired of us beating ourselves and handing it to them. We have better talent. We have for years. The sad part is, even in the year that they were undefeated coming into Lincoln, when they got beat in the Big Ten title game, we had the chance in that game as well. We hung. We had better talent in certain spots, and they were undefeated coming in. So IO can shut the hell up and just deal with it from now on, because now it's our turn to start running the table, take the next 7 to 10 years in a row, and y'all can shut up about trying to get close in the all-time win-loss record. Piss off, Iowa. I hate you. I just do. All right. Got that ran out of the way. All right. So anyway, Iowa's record last year, 8-5, finished 6th in the Big Ten with a 6-3 record. 10 returning starters that I saw, 5-5, offense and defense. Transfer portal. I saw they added 10 players. So, Tim, this one's in Lincoln, man. Do we literally not just get the monkey off our back, but throw him to the ground and pull the trigger?
This kind of feels like it has to happen this year, right? Like, kind of feels like it's all coming towards this, trending towards this. Would be a way to kind of close out the season on a high note. But I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to say Nebraska kind of falls short here, only because I do think Nebraska ends the year with 3 losses. Okay. And this is kind of where I'm slotting in that third loss right now. I think UCLA is an opportunity for that third loss. Michigan, of course, an opportunity for that third loss. I guess it would be up to you. Are y'all satisfied with a 9-3 with a loss to Michigan, or a loss to Iowa? I think most people would prefer the loss to Michigan.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and I will say this. I do think this game, once again, is going to be close. I do think Nebraska has the talent and the ability to take this game into their hands and kind of control it, probably for the first time. I mean, we saw it last year, up until that Caleb Johnson, like, screen and go. Nebraska controlled last year's game. So I think Nebraska can control this game. And now the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's gun it. 10-2. They're winning this game.
Yes.
No, they're winning this game. They're winning this game. I'm leaning to as I'm talking through it, I'm like, they controlled last year's game. They have a better offense. They have the ability to put up points. I do think this Iowa offense is going to give teams trouble. But the good news is Nebraska will have a whole year of tape on that offense because it'll be a new offense. I do expect with Gronowski and again, some of the additions, they got Warren Rogerio from Wake Forest. There's going to be some of that slow mesh thrown into that offense as well. So there's going to be some stuff on that offense that's going to cause, some trouble. My general thought with this defense throughout the whole year is I just think they're going to be prepared for most things and have answers for most things, at least on paper, have answers for most things. Mm-hmm. Because John Butler, if he ever has any questions, can just look to the left and look to the right and ask Phil Snow and his 40 years of experience what he would do in that situation. And Phil Snow will have an answer.
Yep.
Man, look at that. Tim talked himself out of the loss.
I love it.
And into the oh my God, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, man. When you can just talk to yourself and just like, I'm so wrong in the way I'm going to go with this first. I'm changing. Changing.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, I knew I wanted them to have like 3 losses. I knew I'm leaning towards 3 losses this year. I think that's just where I'm going to end up in my like official season predictions. I don't know where that 3rd loss ultimately comes in, but I think they just have to beat Iowa. I think that's like what would show this fan base more than anything, even if you do walk into that game with 8 or 9 wins, what would show this fan base more than anything that things have changed around here? Beating Iowa decisively.
Yes. All right, Matt. We're going into it. You got us at that 1 loss the week before against Penn State. Where are we at with Iowa?
I think we win, and for the strict reason that it's just going to mean more for us. Yeah. This could be a game where it comes down to if we win, we play possibly for a Big Ten championship or making it into the playoffs.
Yep.
And if we lose, we're left out of both.
Yep.
And I think it just means more to us. And at home, the better special teams. That's
yes.
The last few years, that's all we needed, and we win those games.
Yep.
And I think we are so much more improved on special teams this year. I don't see it. We beat the piss out of Iowa the last 2 years, and they still find a way to win that game. But this year, I don't think it happens. I think we win that game because it's just going to mean more for us. Because I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs this year. I don't think they have a roster or even a Big Ten championship. But I think we have that kind of caliber of team. And because of our schedule, I think that's what it's going to come down to. And
could make a run.
We end up winning. And I'll say win by at least a touchdown. It ain't going to come down to a field goal. It will be we win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, because I'm sick and tired of sounding like Cubs fans. Next year. Next year. We'll get them next year. I'm sick and tired of sounding like a Cubs fan. Even the Cubs finally won the damn World Series. What the hell? They don't need there's next year anymore. They finally got one. Okay?
Yeah, they only needed 42 years, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't. That's ridiculous. It was just an outstanding stat of their drought was ridiculous. I've never heard of it as such a
Wasn't
stat.
it like 100 years almost or something like that?
I think it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was right at the 100-year mark or something like that. I think
it was 1903 to what? Like 2019 or something like that?
Oh, it was before 2019, wasn't it? 2015 maybe?
It was something. It was
definitely 100 years or more.
Like how the hell did 2019?
All right, I'm sorry I brought up the Cubs. All right. Now we're not talking baseball. My bad.
I'm not a Cubs fan.
Sweet Jesus. Yeah, I'm not really much of a baseball fan. I love playing it, but it's boring to watch. I'm sorry.
I am. I mean, like, got it.
Yeah, you got your Orioles. I get it. All right, Kenny, what do you think? It's Io Duh. It's tough for me to even say their real name. It's just like trying to talk about that team just to the west that wear black and gold. It's hard for me to actually speak about them by name. So what do you think, Kenny? It's in Lincoln, man. And if, according to what your record is so far, is this a W?
I hope so. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm so on the fence because we should have beaten them umpteen times the last couple of years. Just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes.
Got it. All right.
Boy.
Well, I'm going to say yes.
Well, you know damn well.
This is the year that it's a decisive win.
Yes.
In the recent history. Now we handed we put belt to ass before the little drought. But I think
you're talking like going all the way back to like the second to last Bo Pelini year.
Yeah.
We won very decisively. Like Bo's last Iowa game, that was close.
Yeah.
And he still won.
Mm-hmm. So belt to ass. I think we beat him by at least 14.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. You know me
in heaven.
You know me. I'm not picking us to lose to Iota. Not happening.
Yeah, you never do.
No. It's just like when we played Colorado. I will never predict us to lose to Colorado. I don't care. And I'm never going to predict us to lose to Iowa. I don't care. Just like that year they were undefeated coming into Lincoln. So what?
Yep.
Throw the records out the window. It don't matter. So I'm picking a W. All right, go figure. Gee, guess where my record lands?
Yeah, as always.
As always. You know, it's the biggest surprise of every season.
No, never changes.
No, it doesn't.
It's win every game. Heart. I don't care who it is. We're playing number one Alabama under Saban. He'd still pick us to win.
And I'm telling you. I mean, they lost to Vandy, and they hadn't lost to Vandy in like 40 years.
Not under Saban.
Well, exactly. It happens. I'm just saying, miracles happen. Okay? And I'm just saying, sometimes miracles can happen every week. Maybe, but not for us. But I'm diehard. I can't help it. I really can't. All right. So, Tim, you got us sitting with 3 losses. Matter of fact, no, you pulled that back. You pulled that back. You going 10-2. Kenny, are you still sitting at the 10-2 mark? Is that where you were? Mm-hmm. Or did you have the 9-3? Yep. Are you going 10-2 as well, Kenny?
I'll say 10-2, but in reality, 9-3.
But probably more like 9-3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Matt's sitting at 10-2.
No, 11-1.
Oh, that's right. You went 11-1.
I only have us losing to Penn State.
Penn State. That was it. My God, this and Tim, I don't know if you know this, but the last 2 years, Kenny's predictions, he actually has been spot on in what the win-loss.
Almost spot on, yes.
Almost, yeah. Last year he was spot on. Year before, I think he was like 1 game off.
So Kenny finally having some faith in his home school, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
There's a lot of what ifs. There is a lot of what ifs.
Okay, so there's our predictions for the season. Now, we're almost at that 2-hour mark. I know people's attention spans are so short anymore, but I know they're going to love this. Let's go another 5 or 10 minutes. Tim, Matt, I want you guys to give us like what's going on. I know recruiting is really at its dead point right now. But looking ahead, what would be a couple, maybe 2 or 3 guys that would be huge for Nebraska to land come this next signing day?
Depends on what year.
Well, considering our 27 year is already looking pretty stellar, but let's say with everything they've got coming in for 26, I mean, that's pretty much set. It's about ready to go. Let's go with the 27 class. Are there a couple guys, Tim, that you could see Nebraska's in the running for that would be huge gets for that 27 class?
Yeah, I mean, while we're recording this, I quickly wrote it up just because I finally got confirmation. Albert Simeon, the number 1 interior lineman in the 27 class, will be back in Nebraska for the Akron game next month.
Oh, that's
early next month.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so this will be his that right now on our podcast.
Yeah, so technically, I just put the story up, but also here.
I was going to say, yeah, because remember, Matt, this won't air until tomorrow.
I read it earlier. Yeah, I read it earlier that he was planning a visit, but he just didn't know when.
Yeah, he's got the date set. It's going to be September 6th. That September 6th game against Akron being a night game is huge. Staff's taking full advantage of that, trying to schedule as many guys in for that game and the Michigan game as they can. So Simeon's one that's big. This will be his third trip to Nebraska.
Yeah, he's a 5-star.
And man, go watch his junior tape or sophomore tape. Like he's a little 6'4". He plays tackle. So he's going to have to slide into guard at the next level because he's 6'4". Huge wingspan, huge paws, huge feet, just like and knows what to do with them. Like he strikes guys and they go down. Like he's as physical, as aggressive as a guard prospect as I've seen. We have him ranked as a top 10 prospect and the number 1 interior lineman in the country per Rivals.
Number 2 offensive lineman, correct?
Yes, number 2.
Just behind what Matthews,
Kennedy. Yeah, Matthews and Kennedy.
Yeah.
So number 3 overall. But yeah, so Nebraska's also after the 227 5-star offensive tackles, Mark Matthews, Kennedy Brown. That's not getting done this season, but I do think at least one of those guys is going to visit this year. Matthews told me he hopes to make it for a game. If it's not for a game, he plans to be in for a practice in spring to see Donovan coach up close and personal. For a lot of the O-line guys, they really want to see Donnie coach. And Donnie tries to make sure he gets those guys in town to see him coach because Nebraska coaches O-line differently. Donnie does it a little differently. He needs to make sure the guys are culture fits. And so he's a little weird about it, but the guys, for the most part are pretty willing to go along with it. So, I mean, that's where they're aiming. Offensive line, Ahmad Hudson, of course, number 1 tight end in the country.
Yes.
Nebraska aims to get him for at least.
Yeah, he's a stud.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in for a game in September. He told me he's likely not going to be in town till November, just because of the way his playoff schedule or high school schedule will work. But I think Nebraska, Trey in particular, is going to push to get him in town in September. And then I think that receiver group is going to start to grow as the season progresses, especially if Nebraska does what I think they can offensively. I think they're going to have, Dane Key's performances and Isaiah Hunter's and Ja'Cory Barney's to just kind of clip up and show recruits and say, hey, come to Nebraska. You can do this and play with a top quarterback and play in this offense. And so they're in it for Nick Lanier, one of the top receivers out of Miami Northwestern. I'm going to try and get him on campus. A name I'd keep a close eye on, another kind of like developing something to keep an eye on. Nebraska's really starting to heat up with Matthew Gregory. He's the number 5 receiver in the country out of Pennsylvania. Speedster. Penn State's the favorite. I think they're going to be able to keep him home, but Nebraska's really making a run there at him. That's where I'd look. DB room, of course, they're going after Juju Johnson, number 4 corner in the country.
Yeah.
Going after some top Cali DBs, some top Georgia safeties.
Secondary players.
Yeah, and 27 is a fun group of DBs. Nebraska wants a lot of those guys. So, I think something I think when he was hired, people didn't really think about. Addison Williams being at UCF and being early on a lot of these guys at UCF is helping them a lot right now. Casey Barner, 2028 out of McEachern is going to be like he had a breakout game for McEachern, which is where Nayland Scott plays. He's considered like the next I'm trying to even think of the 3 names I had in mind, but like the next Georgia's produced a bunch of like the Caleb Downs, the Travis Hunter, these like elite 2 type athletes that do everything. Casey Barner's the next guy at McEachern. He visited in June. Nebraska's going to try and get him back on campus for a game, likely with Nayland Scott. And so I'm going to keep a close eye on that. But yeah, I think watch the DB room this year because I think Addison Williams is going to have a chance to put together a pretty special visitor list throughout the season.
Hell yeah. All right. Now, before we head on out of here, I had one more question for you, Tim. I talked to you about, we had this last month leading up to last week's episode, we had Rex Waterman on, Hayden Ainsworth, Claude Mpouma, and Leon Noel Jr., all class of 26, I believe. Am I correct on that one?
Yes.
Okay. All offensive linemen. I mean, these guys, none of them were shorter than 6'5". They're all 300 plus almost. What are you looking for out of young men like these guys, out of Rex, Hayden, Claude, Leon, and their character? I sensed a pattern with this coaching staff as to the type of character of players that these guys are going for.
They all fit what Donnie wants.
Yes. So, in your opinion, Tim, what are we looking for out of those 4 young men once they step onto campus?
With all of them come in at different levels. I think you remove Claude and you look at the other three. I think they're all relatively similar guys that can play tackle, guard, versatile prospects, relatively high floors with some untapped potential. I think of those three, I think the highest floor probably belongs to Waterman. I think he's a guy that is plug and play at Nebraska. Like I think we are way low on him. I think he's a guy that probably deserves to be a top 600, if not top 500 prospect. Very safe guard prospect, a guy that, you plug him in at Nebraska. I think he's going to be like just a guy that you throw right in there behind whoever ends up taking up Rocco's spot and not Teddy's spot. Why am I blanking? A lot of names today. Justin Evans' spot at center, but
reminds me of Tyler Knack.
Yeah.
Where like he's kind of that player where we recruit him, get him here, put some weight on him. He's developed enough where he just needs bigger size and get a little stronger. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're in OTB.
Right. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of technique work or really anything that unfinished there. I think Leon Noel has a pretty high ceiling, all things considered, and some untapped potential. He's a guy I think has a chance to stick at tackle, but also could move into guard. Same goes for Hayden. Hayden's skipping a grade, was originally a 27 cycle, class of 26. I think that
hurts him.
Hurts him a little bit in terms of when he'll be able to see the field at Nebraska, but ultimately I don't think it affects his development a whole lot.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's mentally sharp.
Right, exactly. So
he's a really sharp kid.
Oh yeah. Mentally, I like him. He's 100% bought into the program.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking for just again like a little more polish as a senior. Claude's the one where he's the highest ceiling of any of these linemen, just because it's an NFL frame, it's an NFL type athlete, and you're really just looking for more consistent technique this year, a little more aggression on tape, and when he gets to Nebraska, you just want him to be further along in the technique where you're not breaking things completely down and rebuilding it from scratch. It's like, oh, you are further along. Like, yeah, we just tweak this a little bit, we do this a little bit. Want to see a little more consistency. I don't think there's going to be a pressure on any of these guys to contribute day one, but I would like to see 2, maybe 3 of these guys push for playing time or push for a spot on the 2 deep as freshmen, because I think they're capable of it, and I'd like to see Donnie challenge them to do that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Like I said, having each one of them on individually leading up to having all 4 on at the same time, found out that was the way to go, because really getting to know them individually first, that's amazing. And then to see the chemistry that all 4 of them had on camera together and the way they talked with each other, you could tell how comfortable they were. They're all 100% all in with Nebraska. There's no thoughts of decommitment, no thoughts of transferring at all right now.
As long as Rule's here.
Exactly.
And
long as Rule and Donnie and staff are here, they're going to be here. So I'm excited for these 4 young men once they get here. I am with you there, Tim, as with Hayden, skipping that grade, being here a year early. Also, as you said there with Hayden, Matt, a little bit of the development side, but he's such a big body. I mean,
he'll be all right.
And as far as the mental capacity goes, his maturity and everything, that level is already way up there. Oh, yeah. I could tell just when we were talking to him, he's so far wise beyond his age. That's for sure. So, and that's another thing I'm noticing with these recruits, Tim, that this staff's going for. These guys, not just their character, but their intelligence is beyond their years. Guys like Trey Taylor, Luke Sorensen.
Don't forget, I still don't think the 26 class is done.
It's not. No, there's like 4 or 5-ish more guys they'll try and add. I think there's a few names we're not even talking about right now that could pop up on the radar.
I agree. Well, especially on defensive line.
Yes, they just need names to pop up. Yeah.
And then I think we're in the running to flip a kid for linebacker.
Yes.
So Miami's linebacker commit, Jordan Campbell.
I was going to ask y'all. Yeah, I was going to ask y'all after talking to those guys. I mean, we've noticed it here just being at practice and seeing the guys, and obviously I've gotten to know these guys. How remarkable is it that Donovan Raiola finds these guys that, 1, have the skill set to play, but 2, have the personality to fit in the room, and they're from all over the country, don't really know each other, aren't coached by the same people, And it's just nope. They're all culture fits. They all fit. Cause like, they brought in a bunch of guys from Hawaii, to fit the line and guys with that. It makes sense. The poly ties, all of that. These are just 4 random guys from all across the country that all do things similarly and all see things similarly and talk similarly and act similarly.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you they're going to step foot on campus and they're all going to have the tucked in shirts like Donnie and the high pants and the tights under the shorts.
Exactly.
And do everything the same, just like the rest of the O-line does. It's so cool that this is the way Donnie's choosing to rebuild this pipeline.
Coach Raiola's got a 6th sense for it.
3-star. You could be a 4-star, a 5-star. It doesn't matter. You could be a 5-star, one of the best players in the country, but if you don't fit what Donnie wants, he won't even talk to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then you talk to these kids, and they talk the exact same. They have the same answer for everything, and it's like, what?
What's going on?
Did you guys communicate and talk about what to say before? No, of course not. But it's really, really cool.
They couldn't have, but there are no set questions on here.
Very mature and just perfect.
Hugely mature. I mean,
I'm sure he gets it from his brother. Donnie gets it from his brother. Guaranteed.
I'm noticing it from guys like even in the 27 class, Trey and Luke, the maturity level that they show already, the way they approach the game, the way they approach their work ethic, even Jamal at running back. Wow. Cool. I mean, good Lord, man. You could be out enjoying your summer and you're running hills in sand. So
he should be working on his passing, his catching. He's got to put up some receiving numbers. But that's my only knock on him. He's a good back, but you got to start catching it out of the backfield.
They'll fix that with him. Once he gets here, they'll fix that with him. Coach Barthel's got it. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Coach E. EJ, whatever. I don't even know what the hell the nickname is for Coach Barthel. I'm just going to call him Coach Barthel. That's it. I mean, I'm not as one of his players. I don't think I'm allowed or privy to the nicknames. I think that's in the locker room type deal. So that's okay. All right, guys, we've reached a little over the 2-hour mark. This might be the longest episode we've done in a while.
Oh, I think it is.
I don't care. We literally covered the whole damn season minus what I hope is going to be a game in Indy and then the CFP game. Wouldn't mind hosting one in Lincoln in December. Oh, my God. That place would just come undone. I would feel sorry for whoever
It'd be
had
like
to come
that
to
Valley
Lincoln.
for LSU.
Yes.
It'd be loud.
And cold, and I'd hope it'd be a Southern team, so they got to play in the cold. We could finally show them what it was like if you had to play a bowl game in Lincoln in January instead of us going to their field. Yeah, let's show you what it's like when it's cold out. Tennessee found out in Ohio State last year. Playing in the cold sucks. It sucks.
Yeah,
and
imagine Florida
really
State playing the Huskers at Memorial Stadium for the 93 National Championship. We slaughter them.
It's over. It's over. They're warming up on the sidelines with those little propane heaters, man. That's what's going to be happening in Florida State. Good Lord. All right. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and shut it down now. We told you everything we possibly could at this point. We've kept you here long enough. I don't want to take up any more of Tim's Sunday. For God's sake, this man's got things to do. He's got people to see and talk to. So, all right. You guys watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Really helps us out a lot. And then, of course, if you get the chance, hop on over to shop.hurrdatsports.com. Check yourself out. Some Husker Army Podcast merch. Become enlisted if you get the chance. So we're going to just shut it down right now. So for myself, Brian Knutzen, former Husker wide receiver, multi-time national champion, Kenny Cheatham, our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, a.k.a. Herbie_Husker on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And then our special guest for today, thank you so much, Tim Verghese, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Previewing the season, giving us some recruiting news. Dude, this was absolutely awesome. And there's no other way for me to put it. Dude,
this was a blast. Appreciate you guys.
We're going to have you on maybe at the end of the season to recap the entire season, see what the hell – see how far off we are. Yeah, I'll pull clips from this episode, throw them in there and be like, this is the shit we said. How stupid were we on this?
Barring
why were we
injury.
thinking-
Barring
Yeah.
injury.
Yes. Yeah. Why the hell were we thinking this?
Dylan Raiola gets hurt like first game
Oh,
of the
God,
season.
shut up. Shut
Don't
up,
even.
man.
Yeah, I
Just
wouldn't
saying.
even. Yeah, don't even entertain that.
Latif's a stud, but yeah, I don't want to entertain that either. He's a tough kid. That won't happen.
We'll be all right. All right. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, our guest, Tim Verghese from Nebraska Rivals, their recruiting writer. So, one last thing to do, and you know what to do. Husker Nation, Husker Army, at ease. You are all dismissed.
Boom.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.